The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Atlanta. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Check.
Ready, back 25.
Check. 42's the mark. If you'll get the board.
Get up.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hey, check.
Now it's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
You're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47. Yard line.
16 yards. That's another Falcons first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Packers' 38-yard line.
Ready, 280. 39.
Watch the pass. 42's the mark. 42's the mark.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Switch it. Check 52. Watch the line left.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
26.
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 98 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And that carry of 98 yards is now tied for the 2nd longest in NFL history.
Ahman Green did it, I believe, in 2003 when he was playing for Green Bay.
Against the Broncos, I think.
And just face it, no matter who was running the ball, for that distance, give them some oxygen as well as the touchdown. What a play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about Hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Mike spoke all day, dog.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And that last carry puts him right at 100. Yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming. Sponge.
This is Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
52's the mic right here over there. 52's the mic. Coming in.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 35. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
No game on this defense. No game. No. Okay, over here. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Yeah, Liz.
Check 50. Check 52's the mic. It's a party.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. It's complete to Grant. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Kill.
Back more.
Kill.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
52.
All right.
52. Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Check 26. Check 26.
Go to 50. Box it.
Snap comes at 1. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll try the right side with Jones. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
6-6. Pull it high. 26.
52. Mike 52.
Check.
Mike 52. Mike 52. Push him back. No, Mike 52.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Check 3. Watch safety 3. Watch 3.
Jones. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. In the slot on the right is Graham. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel
ring bells. People see me and can't help themselves. See me and themselves. I wouldn't want to be anybody else. I never used to think I'd be a magazine cover. They keep on trying to find new ways to push my buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rained and it thunder, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't want to be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't want to be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my...
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
At the 34-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Come on, D. Hey, check 24. Inside. Kill. Check. Lines up. Check.
Now Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
A gain of 3 on the play. First down, Packers.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
We won. Come on. Hey, black. Run right.
Running right, Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
We are going. Hey, Delta. Come.
To throw is Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 62 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Makes the score Packers 7, Ravens nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. A gain of 6 there on first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 68 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
We own it. Throw it back. Bravo.
36 to Mike.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They run. It's Mark Ingram. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
3rd and 7.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
44 is the mic. 40. Rip left, rip left. 44 is the mic. 44.
Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Packers 14, Ravens 7.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
This is Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Ready? 3's the mic. 93's the mic. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. This will be caught by Brown. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Baltimore 1st down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
On the double. 2's the mic. Check. 42's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's off. Unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
3rd and goal, Jackson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 30-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Check it back, check it back.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, check 26.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
Whip 26.
Watch the whip.
Go, go.
Check 48's the mic.
Jim, Jim.
48's the mic.
Jump out.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rodgers. This is caught. It's Ryan Brand. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s. So a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Jackson on 1st down. Got a man. It's Brown. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him.
Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Seth Roberts there to make the grab. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Back ball. Got 300. Got 300.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm
scared.
Hey, Charlie.
48 for Mike. It's a party now.
Now it's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I'm gonna run you over.
My school.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Hey, look, 48. Hey, 88. Come on now.
48 Mike. 48 Mike.
Hey, Alpha. Get that quarterback.
Now Rodgers throwing again. Looking deep for Adams. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill, no surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Andrews. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Ingram. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And an alley to run. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, 28 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A big run there by Jones, and even 70 yards on the pickup. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. A 5-yard touchdown catch, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right? These things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would have been a lot better. But the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation. Probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line is getting there. Congratulations to all.
Jackson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby.
And Jackson throwing once more. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
What we got?
To throw again. Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Ingram again. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Nice hit, boy. Ready. Pittsburgh. Get the ball. Got double tight.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run here with Ingram. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal.
Double tight. You got 3 down.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Keep playing hard.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared.
Jackson from the shotgun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still. And
then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A big run there by Jones. 44 yards on the ground.
First down, Packers.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
88. Jump out. Hey, over. From the 50. Hey, you block over here.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Inside. Shift. Get 300. Get 300. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Box it.
To throw is Rodgers. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
50. 26. Hey, box truck.
48's the Mike. They can't hang with us.
Mike 48. Watch the run. Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, back north. Right now, let's go. Check Mike. 48.
Rodgers to throw. This one complete to his running back, Jamal Williams. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now Rodgers. And here he's got Grant. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Mike, 18. Hey, 26.
Back to throw, Rodgers. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Let's get off the field.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish,